Put it back on.
That's a big.
But it's not gold.
You still don't have a gold medal in the elite road race, but you're happy today, Chloe.
Yeah, it's funny. Before the race, I definitely didn't expect this, but now coming away with silver, I'm a little mad that it wasn't gold.
Yeah.
But yeah, with how my year's gone and how this week went mentally for me, I almost didn't really even want to start today. So I feel very blessed to have the support that I have back home and here. Without them, I don't think I would have started, and so feel very blessed.
And you did a heck of a lot of work to even get back up to that front group there in I think the bridge right there at the final K. And then you're in the back a little bit when Lisa opened up the sprint, and it looks like you went the long way around too, and then it looks like maybe the legs just faded right then when Kopecky was there for the gold. Is that a good assessment? How did you see it?
Well, I mean, Kopecky's one of the best sprinters, right? So I don't think it was so much that as much as she's just very good at sprinting, and I'm not so much. It was a great race from her, especially her and I both at the far end of the course, kind of having to chase back on, and so it was a good day for her, and so I just got to work on my descending.
At one point, you dropped her out there. You dropped Lotte at one point out there on your chase back.
Well, she got back on, so she did good.
What did you think about the way the Dutch had the numbers today, but maybe they weren't playing them well, and how did you see all the tactics playing out in those final two circuits?
Yeah, the Dutch always have such a strong team, and I think it played out probably. Maybe they wanted one more at the finish, maybe to keep Voss. But yeah, no, I think probably the plan was for Demi to make it to the line, and. So I guess I don't know. I never really know the Dutch tactics.
Tell us a bit about the chase itself. How mentally difficult was it after being dropped on the climb there to come back and basically chase until the last kilometer?
Yeah, I think at the top of the climb it was more of a kind of a gamble because Elisa went and I was behind Kopecky, and I was expecting Kopecky to go with it, and I lulled behind her, just expecting her to go. So that part, having to chase on, was getting back on. I knew there was enough time we could do it, and then in the final, it was just the descent for me that I went my pace, went my speed, and if I caught on, I caught on. If I didn't, so yeah, I'm really grateful and thankful that I did.
That descent, how much of a role did this week play in that descent down to Küsnacht there?
Sorry?
How much of a role did the week here, or everything that happened this week, play in the descent for you, knowing your crash from Imola back then?
Yeah, this year I've had numerous crashes just from sliding out. So we finally dialed in my tire pressure and all that. So I felt a little more confident today in my descending, but still with my accident, there's still fear there, and as much as I don't want to admit it, there is, and it's just something I have to overcome, and I'm definitely working on it, and hopefully by next year I'll nail it. So.
Chloé, you said you almost didn't start. Can you say why? What was in your mind?
This whole year I don't really know. And there's no excuse. I'm not saying this as any sort of an excuse, but just the way I normally can hurt myself, my power, my training. I'm just off physically. I'm not putting out the power that I know I can and should. In training, I'm finishing efforts in races, and it's like I can't trash myself. I can't turn myself inside out. And I don't know if it's some sort of mental block. I think over the past 4 years, I've had all this time off due to injury, but never time off because I'm taking a break because it's off season. It's always injury or illness induced, so I never really have a mental break. And I think maybe it's kind of catching up with me, and I just need to take a little mental break and just kind of reset, recharge, and start focusing on the season to come.
Just finally, can you give us any sort of preview now that you've raced this course, what we can see tomorrow in the men's race?
I think it's going to be dry for them.
Yeah, they're going to have it easy.
I would love to see Vanderpool win again. I think that would be pretty cool. I think it's obvious that it's not a super climber course, But yeah, I think honestly anything can happen. Everybody's so strong in the men's peloton. But yeah, Vanderpool's Canyon rider, so let's go for Canyon.
But yeah, why so? I mean, what did you see on those climbs out there, and how will that factor into the race?
It's definitely power climbs. They're not long enough for, I feel like, you know, a climber to just set its tempo and go with it. I think it's definitely a power climb, and it's going to be set for probably a classic style rider.
Allison, you just said you love racing. On a day like today, when it's this sort of weather here in Zurich, how much do you love racing?
No, you know what? The amount of fans that are out in such terrible weather, like, yeah, we'll put on a show for them. So, and there's so many people that, yeah, shout my name or cheer Canada. I love racing no matter what, as long as I'm a little bit warm. And so if you can manage that, then it's a good day.
You're not shivering, you're not crying. We've seen several riders both and coming in like that. How did you survive out there?
Well, I mean, it's also this is my 10th Worlds or something, 9th Worlds. So, I mean, it comes in experience. Like, you're going to have a good day sometimes and a bad day other days. And that's how it is. So, yeah, I can stay pretty calm. You can get your emotions all caught up into it, but that's a waste of energy. So I just enjoy it. Yeah.
So, Allison, what's your story today? How did it play out for you and the team?
Yeah, I mean, the main goal, we're really riding for Magdalene and Olivia. Yeah, I know, and I would watch on the big screen, and I just like rooting for her. I mean, this is such a good course for her, and with the rain. Yeah, so I mean, I just helped as much as I could in the beginning, some positioning points, taking jackets, and then, yeah, when my day was done, then that's it. Then I just take it as a training day. My highlight was the jelly donut on the steep climb. I don't even know who that was that gave it, but it was great. So
I'm hoping that you'll feel good tomorrow after that too. Hopefully it's safe. Weather aside, what was the course like? I mean, everybody's billing it as the toughest Worlds in years.
No, there's every Worlds is going to be tough no matter what. I mean, I think of like Yorkshire Worlds was so tough, Innsbruck was tough. I mean, last year in Glasgow, that was a really hard parkour. So, I mean, it just every year we come in for the challenge. I kept telling the girls, we're not training for easy, we're training for hard, and this was just another hard that we're, yeah, taking a part of, you know. But yeah, the course, yeah, it was. There was quite a bit to navigate, actually. But yeah, I mean, a quite climby course, so not my specialty. But yeah, like I said, the fans were out there all over, which makes it a good day.
Just finally, before we send you back out in it, if I told you there was some Dutch dominance, but also infighting, and there was a repeat winner in the Worlds out of I think a 6-rider sprint, and we had Chloé Dygert second. Longo Borghini third. I mean, how would you react to those results? Surprises out there today?
You know what? Sometimes there's surprises just because it's the end of the season with the weather. Sometimes new people rise up, and other people you think would be really good. Yeah, can't manage the cold or the rain. Makes it more technical. But I mean, yeah, am I surprised? Lotte won? No, she's a champion through and through, and. Yeah, I mean, it's a bike race. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, Chloé in the road race on a course like this to get second, and Longo Borghini, it's not the sprinter type, but managing that is pretty good. So, I mean, I'm a big fan of all these bike riders. I mean, they're incredible athletes, so, and they work hard for this result.
Lotte, what's the feeling to put on this jersey yet again?
Yeah, very proud. Yeah, it's of course when you come into this race, you're feeling good. Of course, you want to win again, but yeah, it's not that easy as it looks like, and yeah, it's crazy to do this.
How were you feeling over those 154 kilometers? Because yeah, you were attacking early there, lighting things up, over 100k out, and then at one point maybe it looked like you were being dropped from the wheel of Chloé Dygert, and then there you are at the end, at the pointy end.
Yeah, I was not feeling bad, but I was also not feeling amazing. I mean, with this weather also was not easy to to keep your body warm and not too warm. And then when Longo went, I just had a difficult moment for myself, and I could not react. I didn't have this punch on that moment, and was trying not to explode myself and try to come back on my own pace to the front.
The whole team, but obviously you had a great teammate up there with Justine Graciera as well, and I think she finished 7th as well.
Yeah.
Someone who really sacrificed themselves for you today.
Yeah, I mean that's really nice about this Belgian team. I mean, I know that I can really rely on them, and that they will ride 100% for me. And the fact that she was in the break there was maybe for me the key to win this world title.
And we heard you kind of questioning the Dutch tactics ahead of the race. I mean, what did you think about the Dutch tactics in the race today? Because we were scratching our heads at times.
Maybe it looks different from the television than in the race, but I think actually they did not ride that bad.
Okay.
I mean, they were in the break with 2, but then you have Vos and Rianne there, but you know that Demi wants to really win this race. So you know that there will be a moment that she will try to bridge, and in the end, I don't know. I don't know at this moment yet what they could have done differently, but they tried to make it a hard race.
Hey, how hard was that course? I mean, weather aside, was this what they built it to be? That one of the toughest worlds in years.
Yeah, this steep one and then the longer one is a really hard part, because it's a pretty long effort. But in the second part, you can really recover, and it's hard, but I should not say it's pure for climbers.
Lotte, how much did it help you that you won it before already mentally? It looked like you were really calm and cool, whereas Demi really wanted it and chased Elisa down. Does that play a big role for you mentally?
I think it did. I mean, it's not that I didn't want to win again, but I mean, I knew that. Okay, I've enjoyed this jersey for a very nice year, and it would be nice to win it again. But if I don't, then I don't. So I try to stay as calm as possible in every situation, and maybe that made me win today.
Elisa, it did look like you were having fun out there today. You were attacking it, and you're really kind of putting the others on defensive all day. And then there you were opening up the sprint there in the final. Did you race how you wanted to race today?
Yes, 100%. I really wanted to have fun, and I did. And this makes me happy. I also came here for the victory, and I gave my 100%. The victory didn't arrive, but I'm very satisfied. I think overall as team we rode very well. We were represented in the main breakaway, and then in the end I really tried to go for the victory. I got a bronze medal, and I'm very satisfied.
What was going on just in those final 2 kilometers? Because the riders were coming back up front. It was Valerie and Kopecky. Were looking at each other, I think, and there was hesitation. And then how did you know when to open it up and sprint?
I think Valerie was desperate to win this race, so I knew she would pull. Unluckily, she pulled also to close the gap on me, but that's it. That's bike racing. And I just knew that I had to open a long sprint because I saw tired legs, and I was like, it's better that I play my cards because I know that I'm an endurance rider, and here people are like a bit dying. Maybe I win, maybe I'm not gonna win, but I want to end up on the podium.
Well, weather aside, it was miserable out there, but weather aside, how was that course? Because they were billing it as the hardest worlds in years. What did you make of those climbs and the overall toughness of the course today?
Yeah, the course was tough by its own, and the weather made it even tougher. Like the bike skills were really important today, and I think they made all the time the difference, because the amount of energy that you were spending if you were not descending pretty well to come back in the first peloton was huge. And for me, it was pretty easy to follow the first ones, and I could spare some energy for the final.
Finally, on the final lap, when you went solo alone, did you sniff the gold medal already? Did you think, okay, this could be the gold medal and I win this now? Or were you like, okay, yeah, they are so close behind, will be hard?
To be honest, for a split of a second, I did believe in it. But yeah, as I said, I think there were people too keen to try to win this race, and they closed on me, but that's bike racing. Everyone is doing that, and it's just how the race is going sometimes, and that's all.
Finally, next year it looks like even more climbing meters at the World Championships than this year. Is that exactly what you're looking forward to in Rwanda then?
Yeah, I'm also really looking forward to having a World Championships in Africa. It's going to be very interesting and again, very tough. Maybe better weather conditions, but we don't know.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you.
Have you ever raced in conditions like that today?
Sorry?
Have you ever raced in conditions like that today?
Yeah, of course we did, but I mean, still, we come from the summer, and then it's the first day where it's so cold, so it's different than in the spring where you're a bit more prepared for it, and yeah, it's just a heavy day.
You launched so many attacks today. You're like the Energizer bunny out there. You kept going and going. However, I think maybe the Dutch team might get some criticism for only ending up with a 5th place today. What will be the discussion tonight, and what answers will you give?
I don't know really yet. I mean, I think we were really long in a very good situation, and I think, like I said, I think if Marianne and me would have 5 more seconds on top of the climb, then we would be there, and it's a complete different game. So I don't know really.
Did you think, Juliana, when 2 laps to go, you were at the front with Misha, or 3 laps to go, and then the others came back, Paulina chasing the bunch. Was that the plan, or what did you think in that moment?
No, it was definitely the plan. We also wanted to make it a hard race from behind, and so we knew that they were coming. I think it was nice that we were up front, and we were prepared for them to came across. So I think we were in a super good situation with me and Marianne in the breakaway, and yeah, of course, Demi behind. We tried to make it over the climb. We knew that yeah, the favorites would attack on the last climb, and yeah, we just tried to make it over the climb so we would be there in the last group with 3. But yeah, I think we just missed it on like 5 or 10 seconds, which is really disappointing because I think if we are with 3 in the final, then it's a different game. But Dame was alone, and yeah, it was just a little bit too hard for her.
It looked like Dani was the one who made it just be alone because she was riding so hard on the front and she dropped Vos and you. Was that a mistake, do you think, that she rode so hard at that point?
I mean, it was always the plan for her to attack on the climb, and I think for her the race needs to be as hard as possible. So I don't think it's a mistake, but yeah, the ideal situation would be that we also make it, in my opinion. So yeah, it was just shit that we were not there.
So Marianne didn't say that she didn't feel good enough for the sprint or something like that. She was able to sprint, or she wasn't feeling good, Marianne?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't really asked her yet, and it's also a little bit difficult to think clear, to be honest, at the moment, because it was such a heavy race and it's so cold, so I don't know.
Ruby, first of all, how hard was that day out there with this weather?
Yeah, whenever it rains, I'm always disappointed, but it tends to be that whenever it rains, I do really well. So the only races I've won this year have been in the rain. So that's what I try and tell myself when I look outside and I'm scared. But yeah, today came as a complete surprise. I came in as sort of the number 1 domestique to help the team. Yeah, giving my bottles to my teammates and gels, and yeah, I really enjoyed like supporting such a strong team. But yeah, then in the final, I was just like, what the hell's happening? Because yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And yeah, anyway, yeah, just I don't really have words.
What did you think about the Dutch team tactics, and then we get an eventual Belgian winner, and how were you playing that in your favor in the final, say 9K there?
think it's a really real challenge for the Dutch to win. With Kopecky, she's a real all-rounder, and yeah, it's very, very difficult. So it's a blessing and a curse to have such a dominant team with the Dutch, because everyone looks to them. Like we got a free ride, Justine and I, on the back of the two Dutch, and then they had to work so hard. So yeah, it's really difficult to pull that off with a strong team.
So what did you want to do? How did you hope to play it if you were to get a medal?
Well, yeah, my legs were pretty empty, and I got dropped from that final 5. And then when I was with Chloé Dygert, I was thinking there's a lot of finals where if you just come from behind and hopefully no one sees you or chases you, but yeah, I thought it's worth risking it to attack. Then yeah, I didn't really have the legs to sprint anyway.
Good race.
Thank you.
What did you think when Vos went and you went with her after Dygert and Rianne Marcus? Perfect scenario in that moment?
I think Vos is one of the smartest riders in the bunch. She was my idol growing up, and she's such a nice person. So, okay, that's a bit of a side note, but when she goes, I really trust her instincts, and I just went. I didn't think much, and yeah, I guess I've been racing a long time in Australia, and sometimes you just have to trust your gut.